Happy Thursday. So today we're going to talk about cravings. You know what I mean? When you're like, after a long day at work, you get home and it's what we call witching hour. You're like starving. You just want like all the food. You want to stuff your face with ice cream. You want to eat all the chocolate, all the chips, whatever it is. Maybe you're on your period. You're feeling super hormonal. You just want to eat everything in the world. If you have been there, give us a little love. Say me. Either way,
we've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. If you haven't been there, you are lying. Give us a shout out, some hearts, say me. I want you to let us know if you are watching this live, #live, on the replay, and let us know where you are from. You know us. We are coaches Nirit
and Coach Sarah,
and we are from Columbia, Maryland. We have helped over, my goodness, thousands of women, 1,000 women in the last 11 years lose 20 plus pounds of body fat and reshape their body for good. So we're so excited to unpack where these cravings are coming from and let you know they are not the enemy. We're here to inspire, educate, and just all around make you feel good.
Cravings are not the enemy?
No, they're not the enemy. They're just signals, okay? So they can be, they're coming from your time of the month, all these things. So if you're frustrated, it is normal. If you feel out of control, it is normal. So just FYI, you are not, you might be crazy, but not because of, I'm just speaking from self-experience, not because of your craving.
I love what you just said, that the cravings are signals, right? They're not the enemy. They are a signal of your body. So we're going to talk about 5 steps for identifying and dealing with these cravings that can really get in the way.
Mm-hmm. Plus, we're going to tell you what to do about them.
Yes, absolutely. So number 1, thinking of it as a signal, identify the source of the craving. So what this requires you to pause and stop for a minute, right? To take just a moment to think, what am I feeling right now? Why do I want to reach for those potato chips? Why am I craving chocolate right now? Am I physically hungry, right? Or am I bored? Am I stressed? Am I sad? Am I anxious? Am I tired? Any number of other things that can cause you to want to go, right? Maybe it's you just saw a commercial for potato chips and you're like, that sounds good. Or maybe you have them out in the open and you see them every time you go back to the kitchen, you walk past the candy dish and you're like, oh, let me take some, right? So what is it that is making you want to eat that food, right? And then you want to tap into that emotion. So if you're tired, maybe you need to rest. I'm giving myself a thumbs up here.
I love that. That's hilarious.
If you are sad, maybe you need to do something to deal with that emotion, right? So that can dictate how you move forward, and whether you reach the food or whether you do something else.
So number 2 is tune into your body's cues, right? Real hunger signs. Is your stomach growling? Are you having a headache? Are you lightheaded? If you are, then eat something real. I'll give you so sometimes you just kind of feel like eating, which is totally normal. We'll get into that. But for me, I'm always I try to think about this. I'm not always perfect, but I'm okay, I think of a food that I don't really like, right? This comes to me after I've eaten dinner, because sometimes you just want to eat all night. Don't lie to me. And I'm okay, would I eat 4 cups of broccoli right now? And if the answer is no, I'm not really hungry. That doesn't mean I shouldn't eat. We'll talk about that later. But is it real hunger? That's always I want you to write this in the comments. Would I eat 4 cups of broccoli? Unless you're a major plain raw broccoli lover. Okay. All right.
This was me last night, honestly. Yeah. We have the leftover Easter candy in our house, and I wanted the Twix. And when I stopped and I was like, Sarah, are you actually hungry? The answer was, no, I am not, right? So I did good. I didn't eat it last night. So
thought you're back. Last night we didn't. Number 3 is assess your routine. Okay, so this goes with it. Are you actually eating meals? And what I mean by that is every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is what I quote Sarah: protein, veggie, carb. protein, veggie, carb, or protein, food, carb, right? So, or are you just like kind of like snacky? Like, are you having like a snacky day, week, month? And you know what I'm talking about this. I've been guilty of this too. It's like you tend to just like, you know, when you've kind of like not really eaten anything all day. This used to be me, and I just like
super busy or whatever. Yeah.
Just like ignoring yourself, and then it's like 2 p.m. and you're just like craving everything. So it's just like you're like crackers and cheese, soup, all those things. There is no protein. Well, that is going to increase your cravings because you're not satisfied, you're not full, and not being full, not getting those carbs in all day, not getting that protein in all day is going to cause those cravings. So that's another signal. That was signal number 3, in case anyone's counting.
Yeah, I mean, and I think especially earlier in the day too, making sure you're starting off the day with protein and a carb to really fuel yourself and feel good and have good energy, so then you don't crash as much later in the day, right? And so number 4, and I kind of touched on this before, is you want to acknowledge your emotional triggers, right? So you want to really think about, you know, what emotions trigger you to want to eat. So anxiety, like I know for me personally, if I'm anxious, I don't want to eat, but if I'm depressed or sad, I want like all of it. Like I know that about myself. So you want to really think about, you know, what makes you feel like you want to eat. Is it loneliness? Is it stress, right? Is it lack of sleep? That's a big one too. That can increase cravings hugely. If I don't get enough sleep, I am ravenous the next day, right? So really pay attention. So we said earlier, pay attention to your hunger cues, but also pay attention to your emotional cues and how you tend to respond. And also, and this is going to blow your mind, it is okay to eat sometimes when you're not hungry.
Like a lot.
Yeah. We are social beings. Food is part of being social. We go out to eat. You know, how many times you're like, you know, let's go out and get some ice cream, right? After dinner. Well, are you still starving? Are you still actually physically hungry when you're going out to get that ice cream? No, but it's a social thing and it's a treat and it's enjoyment. Food should be a source of enjoyment, and you don't have to feel guilty every single time you eat when you're not hungry, but it should be a conscious choice, and you should be aware and making sure, you know, that you're not eating out of emotion too much. Sometimes is okay. You know, a regular, consistent pattern of that is not going to be the best for you. And then you want to choose a thoughtful, sorry, I thought she was next, but I'm keeping going. So tapping into those emotions, then choose a thoughtful response. So if you are sad, like I said before, if you're sad and that's making you want to eat, you want to choose a thoughtful response that goes with being sad, right? So maybe you need to journal, maybe you need to get outside in the sunshine, maybe you need to phone a friend, whatever you need to do to deal with that emotion, rather than always turning to the food every single time and having food be your comfort animal. You know, give yourself what your body and your mind actually needs, right? Maybe you need to take a walk. Maybe you need to, like I said, call someone for support. And you just want to be really intentional about it. I want to be clear. It is still okay sometimes to, you know, eat with your cravings. It's okay sometimes, right? You don't have to feel guilty all of the time, but you want to be intentional. You want to be aware. So I want you to put in the comments, I want you to write, be aware. So one of the biggest problems people run into is the mindless eating, is when you're not cluing into the fact that you are even actually eating or why you're eating. It's that mindlessness that can really get in our way. And so one of the biggest things you can do is to be aware of what you're putting in your mouth and why.
And one thing that we teach is to feed your cravings. So that, you know, you ever hear like, I wanted one cookie, or, which there's nothing wrong with a cookie, right? Or a piece of chocolate or whatever. So I didn't have a piece of chocolate, and at 10 p.m. I had like an entire bag of chocolate with like 70, like whatever. So we want to definitely feed into our cravings, but in a smart way so that we are aware. So snacks to help you with cravings. We thought of some snacks. So I want you to write these in the comments and definitely take notes on these snacks. So for me personally, I love sweets and I love chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. I have chocolate every single day. So for me, like 4 Hershey Kisses is a little under 100 calories and I love it. So if I have 4 Hershey Kisses, I feel really good. Or half a Hershey bar. Like to me, that is like, I will crave sweets, especially, when I'm hormonal, but like I love sweets and I will have them every day. I love a Yasso bar. That's an ice cream bar. An Enlighten bar. I have one of those every day in addition to my chocolate every day. So sweet foods, you can have them. You can have a little bit every single day because when you have that little bit, that is going to meet your craving. And if you take account for it, right, if you make sure that you are giving it to yourself, you are not just saying, oh, shame, 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 shame. And then later just the craving got so big that you overdo it.
You also, when you have that permission, you don't have to like eat the whole box of Oreos, right? Because you're not going to eat them ever again, ever. Well, yes, you are, because you can have them. You can have a couple and then move on with your day. I wanted to add the berries with whipped cream. That's one of my favorite. I mean, I love chocolate too, but sometimes I want something like, I don't know, just a little different. And so I love to do the berries with whipped cream. Salty ideas. So dry roasted, salted edamame seeds. I really like those. They give you that like sweet, salty crunch. They have some protein, some fiber. Quest chips. If you guys haven't gotten on the Quest chips bandwagon, they are like 150 calories and like 20 grams of protein. So those are super efficient and they satisfy that crunch, that salty. Also like the Skinny Pop or air popped popcorn can be a good option for that as well.
Even regular chips. If you just have a bag of chips and with some salsa, you are fine.
You taught me the hack of like buying the individually wrapped, right? Rather than buying the big bag, buy the individual like lunch size ones, and that's portioned for you. And it goes back to the awareness. You're aware then if you ate 1 serving or 2 servings or 3 servings rather than like the big bag where you're just like going and going.
Yeah, your problem is not chips. It's the amount of chips, right? We all like, if you learn how to eat, right? Just try to get fiber in with your food. If you want creamy, you could have Laughing Cow cheese with bread or with crackers, right? That hits some protein and add some veggies. Cottage cheese with veggies or with fruit, that will get your protein in as well. There's so many ideas that you can do. The big thing is to remember is cravings do not mean that you have failed, right? It's just your body saying, I need something. So one thing that really helps me is like, think like a kid, like kids who run around all day, they don't overthink things. They just like kind of like grab a little bit or whatever. Like, they just have a little bit of something, right? They don't feel guilty, right? They listen to their hunger cues. And somewhere along the way, we have lost that as a society. In our environment, and we have guilt, we have shame, yet we are still just overdoing it in general. And I am giving you permission to go into your cravings, right? But in a thoughtful manner, right? So if you need a little support, if you want to achieve food freedom, like you have seen in so many of our women, we have helped, like I said, over 1,000 women achieve food freedom, feel fantastic, and you are wanting to lose 15 plus pounds by summer for good and keep going, PM me confident and we will give you the exact plan for your body, customized with exact workouts for you to show you how to eat so you can enjoy all your favorite foods while fueling your body. And most important, feeling good about yourself mentally and physically. So PM us confident and let us know in the comments what resonated with you here today. Have a happy Thursday.